Hello everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood Moshi, and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Zero Suit Samus, but as always, I just want to give this disclaimer. These guides are not aimed at experts or people who already know what they're doing with the character. These guides are aimed at people who either don't know the character or are somewhat familiar with the character and are looking to just pick them up at a very basic and fundamental level. I'm not going to be going over any super in-depth combos or anything too complex. I'm just going to give you basic fundamentals of what every move that fighter has in their arsenal and how to use them at a very basic level in neutral, because there's no sense in teaching you a specific combo or setup, because then that's all you're going to try, and if you fail with that, well, then you're just left up the creek without a paddle. You'll be wondering, well, what else am I supposed to do? So having said that, let's start talking about Zero Suit Samus. Now, for those of you who have played Zero Suit Samus in past incarnations, you'll find her very different from all of them. In Smash 4, I would say she's very heavy rushdown. You can also play her bait and punish, but she's very good at just rushing her opponents down. Here, not so much. The main thing about Zero Suit Samus in Smash 4 was her down throw combos into up air, but as you can see, she doesn't really have that now, at least not truly. Like, you have plenty of time to dodge her after she down throws you. Down throw into up airs and most other aerials, it's not really something that you can do anymore. And again, this was something that was done with Mario and some other characters. Their one-dimensional combos were pretty much taken away from them, but in return, they were given access to options, which I think is very important for fighters in Ultimate, just having different options. But I digress. Let's start talking about her actual attacks. Zero Suit Samus' jab is pretty much the same as it was before. I don't believe it's been changed at all. I think the only difference now is that she can jab block with the first hit of her jab. Aside from that, there's no other... Well, she also can't cross up. She can't cross up shields. But aside from that, no differences between her jab before and then. For those of you that didn't know, Zero Suit Samus' jab actually comes out on frame 1. And for those of you that don't know what a frame is, 1 frame is a 60th of a second, so 60 frames makes 1 second, and her jab comes out in 1/60th of a second, making it the fastest jab in the game. So, if you need an option to stop your opponent from using anything, her jab is literally her best option. There's nothing comes to mind immediately that beats it out. I can't remember any other frame 1 attacks on the ground, like right off the top of my head. I don't think it's Little Mac's jab, no. Onto her tilts. Her tilts are functionally identical to what they were before. The only change out of all of her tilts was to her down tilt. Her down tilt has slightly less ending lag and has a little bit more knockback, but aside from that, no other changes. So her tilts function the same way as they did before. Her forward tilt is your standard forward tilt. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this. It's a standard forward tilt, just a kick, good for like a really basic combo ender, or just a way to force your opponent off stage if they don't respect the space between you two. It's bread and butter stuff. Same as most other forward tilts that are just some sort of kick like this. Mario has one, Kirby has one, Jigglypuff has it, Luigi has it, a lot of characters have it, okay? Her up tilt is an interesting up tilt. I wouldn't say it's the best anti-air, just because the actual anti-air part of it, the part that covers the top of her, doesn't come out immediately, but it is good for getting someone up into the air. And her down tilt is standard as far as down tilts go. It's a sweeping kick that's good to start combos. Simple as that. Her smash attacks are forward smash. Her forward smash actually can be angled now. So you can angle it up and downward, which is actually very good. As I said before, a lot of forward smashes can do that. Zero Suit Samus is one of them that can do that now. Unfortunately, it has a little less knockback, so it's not as good for killing as it was in Smash 4. But it is still an option that she has if you want to toss it out to get some good damage in, or just to force someone off stage yet again. Her up smash is actually much better. I think this is the best incarnation of her up smash across Brawl 4 and Ultimate. Not only does it cover a decent area above her, it's not as long as it was before, but it does still cover a very good area above her, and it actually is good for starting combos. And as I said, it has increased knockback as it did before, or compared to what it was before. So she can actually net some kills with her up smash. Her down smash. Now her down smash was actually a projectile in previous Smash games, but here it actually isn't. It's not treated as a projectile. So that's something to keep in mind. So that means it actually can't be reflected since it isn't a projectile. It also doesn't deal as much knockback, which is actually good once you get someone to the higher percents, because that means you could actually combo out of it. And last but not least for her grounded attacks, I don't count grabs as attacks. It's a grab. I'm talking about just physical attacks damage. Her dash attack is a simple knee kick. Pretty much the same as it was before. It's very good for crossing up if you use it next to your opponent. Again, if you don't know what a cross-up is when someone is shielding and you end up behind them when you use a move on them. So if Mario was shielding and I used my dash attack on him, I would actually cross him up. I would end up behind him, which is actually a pretty good thing. Now into her aerials. For all of her aerials, they have less ending lag. Not ending lag, I'm sorry, I meant landing lag. So you don't have as much landing lag when you hit the ground. So she can throw out her aerials a lot faster. That doesn't mean just run at your opponent and just start tossing out aerials, no. Her neutral air, I think her neutral air is tied with her forward air for her best aerial. It doesn't have as much range as it did before, but it has a lot more knockback, and it has so much utility. This is pretty much your gateway to combos with Zero Suit Samus. And it's also very good air to air. It also hits behind her, as you can see here. Here we go. So you can actually have your back to someone and hit them. Her forward air is a simple double kick. It's actually really good. It combos into itself, too. And something that you can do with her... Now, I've said this a lot in my previous guides, and I will keep saying it because it's a very important skill to learn. If you press jump and attack at the same time, you'll automatically do a short hop aerial. You don't want to get in the habit of doing that, because I can run up to Mario and do this just by pressing jump and attack, but that's not what I want. What I want to do is short hop by just tapping the jump button, then use my forward air and fall down with it. That way I can do something like this. So, I mean, sometimes it's good to just short hop and use it, but even then, I like doing it manually, just pressing jump and then attack. I don't want to get in the habit of pressing jump and attack, because there's a lot of aerials in the game where you want to jump first, then come down with the aerial, and Zero Suit Samus is one of those people. Like, even her neutral air. Her neutral air could just do this, but I won't even hit Mario. Even if I'm standing right next to him, I won't hit him. But if I short hop, then fall with it, then I'll hit him, which lets me start combos. Her back air is a very standard back air as far as those backwards kicks go. Samus and Dark Samus have it. Who else has a backwards kick like this? Wolf has one. Fox and Falco have one. Although hers is fairly fast, I must say. It also has a sour spot on it. There's a sweet spot and a sour spot. A sour spot is on her thigh. It's weaker, obviously, than the sweet spot. That just leaves her up air, which anyone who's seen Zero Suit Samus, or at least played a little bit of her, you're probably very familiar with this move. It's a simple upwards kick, very similar to Mario's, and you can combo multiple up airs together. Although the whole down throw into multiple up airs, that doesn't really work anymore. Because you can see that there's ample time for Mario to escape. But once you actually get someone up in the air, you can easily juggle them with your up air. And then last but certainly not least, her down air. Just standard dive kick. And yes, it does spike. If I can actually hit Mario with it. I didn't want to kill him, but oh well. Next, we'll go over all of her throws. Now, as I said before, her down throw in Smash 4 was pretty much her gateway to combos. Not really anymore, because the knockback on it is increased, so she can't really... Oh, there's the spike. she won't really be netting combos with her down throw anymore. And the main thing you'll want to use with your down throw is to get someone up in the air, try and bait them into using a double jump or air dodging, and then try and punish that. Just a straight up combo from your down throw isn't really possible. Your up throw is also good for getting someone into the air away from you. Forward throw is actually good for setting up a combo into your jab. Not a true combo, but what I mean is that if somebody doesn't tech, like if I can get Mario to a bit higher percent, if I forward throw him and then run up and jab, I can lock him in place with my jab. So that's an option she has. Back throw is also good for just forcing someone off stage. Her throws aren't the greatest. They're very standard as far as throws go, but that's not really a bad thing. You don't have to have an extremely great grab game. She does have a tether grab, so she can grab people from a longer distance away than other characters. And because of that, she has a tether recovery, meaning I could press the grab button in the air. Not like that. I could press the grab button in the air to do this, which is also an attack. And it also lets me grab onto ledges. I'll go over her recovery in more detail after I've covered her specials, because she has some very good specials. Her neutral special lets her shoot a small... No, excuse me. Her neutral special lets her shoot a small beam of plasma, which will stun her opponent if it hits, and you can hold it down to charge it, and they'll be stunned for much longer, which, as you can probably guess, lets you set up combos very easily. Her forward special, Plasma Whip, now this is a very good special. I think it's actually much better than it was in 4, just because of all the different things that you can do with this. First off, this move will start killing on the higher percents, like around 120, 130%. This move can outright kill. But I think the best thing about this move is that if you hold down the special button, your opponent will be knocked towards you. This is if I just press it, they're knocked away, and this is if I hold it. So you can obviously see that this is another gateway into combos for Zero Suit Samus. Zero Suit Samus has quite a few options for starting combos. It's just not as simple as down throw into aerial. You have to be a bit more creative with your combos. But she has options, which is the most important thing. Her up special, she'll jump up into the air and perform a series of kicks. This is a good move for killing in the higher percentages, or if you've got somebody really far off stage on the last stock and you want to try and style on them. And again, very good combo ender for her. She was pretty much famous for her up air into up special combos in Smash 4, which are still here. You just got to get people into the mid, around to the mid percents to actually get it off. This move has no problem taking stocks, especially on stages like Battlefield. Zero Suit Samus loves stages like Battlefield, Town and City, Smashville, stages with platforms, because she can make very good use of them with her up air and her up special. And back to her specials, her last move is her down special. Now this is one of the moves that gives her such an amazing recovery. When you use her down special, she'll flip forward, and she'll also face the opposite direction when she lands. Now, if you press the attack button again, she'll perform a kick, which can actually spike people if you land it. Or, if you just hop on someone's head, if they're on the ground, you'll bury them, and if they're in the air, it will spike them. Like that. It's not a very strong spike in the early percentages. Usually you're just going to want to go for the kick if you're really trying to spike someone. And the kick can just outright kill like that as well. And aside from that, that is all of Zero Suit Samus' attacks. But let me really explain what Zero Suit Samus is capable of and how I think you should use her in Ultimate, because she's very different from how she worked in Smash 4. Smash 4, she was very binary. She gets a down throw, she does some up airs, yada yada yada. Here, you're going to want to play her a lot more like Captain Falcon, a lot more bait and punish. You can't just run up and start spamming moves on your opponent. You have to play it smart. You have the tools to space somebody between your Paralyzer and Plasma Whip, so you should definitely use those properly. And again, if you hold down the special button, the Plasma Whip will actually send them towards you, which is the gateway into Combo City. She's very good at comboing her opponents. It's just not the exact same way as before. You have to change up your playstyle with Zero Suit a bit. You can't just go gung-ho, oh hey, down throw, up air, up air. It doesn't work like that anymore. She has a lot more options now, which I think it encourages a much healthier playstyle for her. And me personally, I think she's better in Ultimate than she is in Smash 4. She did receive nerfs from Smash 4. She definitely did. So in a way, if it makes sense, because she got nerfed, she was given other options in different areas, and that's what I think makes her better, just because she's not so binary. I don't mean better as in she's a better fighter. She did get nerfed from the transition from 4 to Ultimate, but overall I think she has a much healthier playstyle because she helps teach you how to be creative, which I think is the most important thing to learn when it comes to Ultimate. Ultimate, like the fighters in Ultimate aren't just standard one-dimensional fighters. You're going to be doing this over and over and over again. You have to be creative, you have to be able to adapt. And since Zero Suit Samus has more options now, you can adapt much better than you could in 4, if you understand what I'm saying. There are 2 specific fighters that I will be doing guides for later down the line that will really help enforce this. But Zero Suit is another fighter that I think helps enforce, being creative and not just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So, all in all, I'd say Zero Suit's a bit trickier to pick up than other speedy characters, but she is very rewarding if you're willing to put the time into her. So, hopefully this was able to help any of you looking to pick up Zero Suit. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure that you also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date and see when these guides are posted. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.